Well, congratulations to the reigning MVP of the league. Nikola Jokic wins back-to-back MVPs. He becomes the 13th player in NBA history to do so, averaging about 27 points a game on 58% shooting, nearly 14 rebounds, nearly 8 assists for the Denver Nuggets, who were able to get to the sixth spot in the Western Conference playoffs this year. Their record was 48-34. And again, it's Nikola Jokic winning back-to-back MVPs. Congratulations. So just for clarity, I want y'all to know this before we play this video here of Stephen Jackson. Nikola Jokic had my vote for MVP. I'll tell y'all why I voted for Nikola Jokic as MVP right after we play this video of Stephen Jackson. Let's play it, and I'll respond to my vote and Stephen Jackson. Check it out.
Hey, what up, world? Hey, some kind of way we got to get a hold of this voting shit, man. Jokic is great, better than I ever was. I ain't taking nothing from him, dog, but he is not a back-to-back MVP, just like Steve Nash wasn't a back-to-back MVP. And these are just facts, man. It's other players who having great years, career years, who teams have a chance to win the championship. And if you know the game, you know Denver did not have a chance to win the championship. And that's just speaking facts. It ain't taking nothing from them. It's just the facts, bro. All these people that never made a basket or got a rebound voting, living their dreams through a keyboard, man, messing up the game and affecting people's careers. I got an idea. The top 75, why don't y'all let them vote? The top 75 players all time, let them vote for the MVP every year. And it's that simple. Stop letting these people vote who live in their dreams through a keyboard or never had a chance to even take a shot or get a rebound or a charge. Like, for real. It's crazy, bro. Joel Embiid, you got...
So I want to be clear with Stephen Jackson because I don't think he's completely wrong in everything that he's saying. I think he's mostly wrong, but not completely wrong. I usually disagree with Stephen Jackson, but it's fine. Stephen Jackson is saying that he wants the NBA top 75 players of all time to vote for MVP. So I am a member of the media. My bias is to the media. I try to always let y'all know when I can have bias in the fight because most of the times I try not to do that. But in this situation, I am a member of the media, so there's a little bit of bias there. Let's call a spade a spade. One of the things Stephen Jackson doesn't realize is what we're supposed to have happen is we're supposed to have members of the media who vote on the MVP award watch basketball every night. Now, I can tell you this. I will be honest with you guys. There are people in the media that have an MVP vote that I just listen to them on their shows every now and then, like Chris Broussard and Stephen A. Smith. I hate to pick out those two brothers, but they're two people that I know have MVP awards where I question, should they have their award today? I'm going to be real with y'all. I know for a fact Stephen A. Smith not watching the games. I know he's not. Keep in mind, I used to work at ESPN. I was an intern. I didn't know Stephen A. that well. I got to meet the brother a few times. But you can listen to him on ESPN, on First Take, whatever he's on, the Countdown Show, and you can literally tell he doesn't watch the games. Like over the weekend, he made a comment about Giannis where he was like, I'm not even having a conversation about Giannis being in the best player in the world conversation. He said something along the lines of, and I was like, what? How can Giannis not be in the best? What does that even mean? How can Giannis, after the last 18 months he had, not even make your cut to be in the best player in the world conversation? I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. Steven watches, in my estimations, he watches about 4 teams play basketball, and it's where the headlines come from for his show First Take. He watches the Brooklyn Nets, the Los Angeles Lakers, because that's Kevin Durant and LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and all. James Harden was in there, mix Anthony Davis, the superstars, and you can make argument maybe the Warriors, maybe, because they're a very popular team, a team that's had success over the last decade, and you can find maybe one other team. I don't think Stephen Jackson on a random Stephen A. Smith on a random Tuesday night is watching the Denver Nuggets play basketball against the Charlotte Hornets, against whoever, the Detroit Pistons. I don't think that. And if you missed those games, you would have missed the moments where Nikola Jokic won his MVP. Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the season. This is not a fluke. As a matter of fact, I remember when Steve Nash won back-to-back MVPs. That was more of a fluke than what Jokic just did. He deserved it last year. I don't think anybody's arguing that. And the reason why Jokic deserved the MVP this year is because his 2 best players were missing. I'm asking you, who is the Denver Nuggets' second best player from last year? If the answer to your question is Monte Morris, Nikola Jokic is your MVP. If the answer to your question is Will Barton, Nikola Jokic is your MVP. If the answer to your question is Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic is your MVP. If the answer to your question is Bones Hyland, Nikola Jokic is your MVP. That's it. That's it. Embiid, to me, was right there, neck and neck. If you follow this platform, you know I was neck and neck right into the trade deadline with Embiid and Jokic. And then Giannis was starting to creep in. At some point, DeRozan was in the conversation. Ja was in it early. But it was, for me, Jokic, Embiid with Giannis creeping. And for Embiid, he had to miss a few games. And obviously, they got James Harden. After the James Harden acquisition, I said, okay, I can't have Embiid in the MVP conversation. Now, I will admit to you, that one is even a little difficult because what is James Harden today? That's like one of the conversations we're having right now. What is James Harden right now? I don't know the answer to that question. He just had a great game 4, but he had been struggling throughout the playoffs. He's pretty much been a good point guard, but not a great player. But I can say this, though, without a shadow of a doubt. Nikola Jokic does not have, whatever you think of James Harden, in a Tyrese Maxey right now. He doesn't have that. Would Bones Hyland be considered Jokic's Tyrese Maxey? If that is the answer, then, okay, Bones Hyland's nowhere near as consistent as Tyrese Maxey. They're not even on the same realm, and I like Bones Hyland. But come on, y'all. Jokic ain't have a consistent number 2. Michael Porter went down early in the year before we got to 2022. No Murray all year, and it was able to get that Denver team to the 6th spot. Let's go through the Western Conference, and we can go through that bad boy 1 through 8. Chris Paul has Devin Booker. Ja Morant had Jaren Jackson. Steph Curry had Draymond Green, and then Klay Thompson mixed in, and a lot of other talents like Jordan Poole. Utah had Donovan Mitchell had Rudy Gobert. Luka, which I do believe is a compelling conversation, was hurt when Dallas started to get it going. And he's got a Jalen Brunson, who I still believe to be better than Bones Hyland, Will Barton, or any Aaron Gordon, whoever you're going to name in Denver. I mean, we could go up and down the Western Conference. I'd argue that Karl-Anthony Towns has more consistent options in Anthony Edwards, or maybe you would argue Anthony Edwards has Karl-Anthony Towns, whichever way you want to go about it. The 8-seeded Clippers, to me, that's more of a Ty Lue deserves to be in Coach of the Year conversation more than the players deserve to be in awards conversation, because it was Ty Lue that really held that team down. They didn't have an individual talent that stood out. The Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, that's when that team got together when C.J. came over to New Orleans. So, I mean, who does Nikola Jokic have? Steven Jackson. You don't want the NBA 75 to vote for MVP because they don't watch the damn games. Stop it. They don't watch the games. You think Michael Jordan, who's an NBA 75 player, is sitting down watching basketball on a Wednesday night? He's somewhere smoking a cigar wearing big jeans. You think Karl Malone is somewhere watching basketball on a Thursday night, randomly in the regular season? You think he's watching? What are you talking about, Steven Jackson? Karl Malone somewhere in Utah doing Karl Malone-like things. You think, seriously, this is a serious question. You think Kawhi Leonard, a guy who plays, you think he watching basketball? Hell, Giannis a top 75 player. He just admitted 2 weeks ago that he doesn't watch basketball that he's not playing in. He said that. What are we talking about, Steven Jackson? You don't want to live in a world where NBA 75 votes for the MVP award. Now, I will say this, Steven Jackson, you are right in this regard. We deserve to have media members that are not superstars like Steven Jackson or Stephen A. Smith. I keep getting Stephen A. Jackson and Smith mixed up. Sorry, y'all. We deserve to have people that watch the games. Like Stephen A. Smith is probably more popular than like the number 31st NBA athlete in the league right now. Is that fair? Like Stephen A. Smith is more popular than most of the league right now. He's a huge brand for ESPN, right? He's a very popular individual. Like if you were to go out and see the 31st best basketball player in the world and you were to see Stephen A. Smith out, you probably would recognize Stephen A. Smith before you recognize that basketball player. We deserve to have media members that are not as celebrity-based as what Stephen A. Smith is today. I guess maybe you could add Chris Broussard in there a little bit as well, just because I listen to the brother, and I know he doesn't watch a lot. He doesn't watch as many games as me. Put it like that. And I obviously don't have a member a vote in the media for MVP award or any award for that matter, which I believe I deserve one in the years to come. So Stephen Jackson, yes, you have the right to call out the media for not watching the games if that's what's going on, but they didn't get it wrong. Nikola Jokic is the MVP, bro. I mean, if you look at his resume, what he had, the hand he was dealt this year, LeBron couldn't have gotten that Denver team to the playoffs. Anthony Davis couldn't have gotten that Denver team to the playoffs. I'd argue that Kevin Durant couldn't have gotten that Denver team to the playoffs. And that just speaks to Nikola Jokic's greatness. I know he doesn't make for the best playoff guy. Like, he's going to continue to get eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. And by the way, winning the second MVP is going to add a lot of pressure to Jokic next year. He's in rare air of two-time MVPs. He's going to have pressure on him, all right, period, to win. But I think that's going to be more or less on that Denver's Nuggets organization to get pieces around him that are not injured like Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr., no matter what. This dude's now two-time MVP. Yes, the pressure starts now for Jokic, but at the end of the day, it's a regular season award, and nobody is more durable, more consistent, and more available, more passionate about regular season games right now than Nikola Jokic. He's even more passionate than Giannis is. Giannis will tell you that he wasn't going after the MVP last year. Now, later in the year, when Giannis realized the MVP war was up for grabs, Giannis went after it late in that year. He had the big games against the Nets. He had late in the season. He did come up big at the end of the season, but Giannis he didn't give it his all like he had in prior regular season, because he now knows after winning his first championship, he's going to be judged on his postseason success and finals MVPs more than regular season MVPs. This was Nikola Jokic's award. If you just look at the style that he plays, he literally is built for the regular season. That's why he's literally done by the playoffs, right? It is what it is. Don't get mad at the people voted. They got it right. Even though I understand and empathize with Jack's frustration with some of the voters who don't watch the game. That's frustrating. But Jokic is the MVP, bro.